Remember that web pages should load in 100 milliseconds, and in worst case, even well-designed and optimized web pages will load in a few seconds. The usual obstacles: non-zero latency, non-infinite bandwidth, although in web application world, latency is usually way bigger problem than bandwidth. So if you have bandwidth problems, that might indicate that you have really badly written application. So maybe it's time to rewrite the application. The other problem is that TCP sessions are short-lived, and we spend so many round-trip times to establish TCP sessions. And the same thing with request-response nature of HTTP. So parallel TCP sessions definitely help, and all the browsers are using them automatically. Spdy might help. HTTP pipelining helps, as you've seen, really a little bit. And what definitely does help way more, I mean, orders of magnitude more than anything we've been discussing now, is good website design and simple things like minification, compression, and caching. Remember, cache is king. Caching is the best method to improve website performance. And by the way, whenever your web developers tell you how well the web application is written, don't trust them. Test the web application over real-life conditions. So low bandwidth, high latency, and if possible, mobile devices. So you know how slow a website is if you open it on your iPad because of the very slow CPU the iPad has. So make sure that whenever someone is demoing the web application to you, they have to do a demo on 3G. That will definitely expose all the problems the web application has. And try to do the demo on something like an iPad, because that will expose all the JavaScript problems their application has. And if it survives this sample test bed, then it really is well-written application. And if you can't force this on the developers, there is one other thing you could do. There are great WAN emulation tools, and this one I particularly like, WAN emulation. It's available as an appliance, so you get the ISO image. It's actually Linux with a user interface that probably interacts with Linux kernel quality of service tools. It can do bandwidth shaping, it can delay the packets, it can drop the packets, it can reorder packets. It can do a lot of things, and you just insert it between your server and the browser, tweak the parameters to whatever you wish them to be, and that's it. And the very next moment, you will see how that application would work over a 3G network, for example. And you get WAN-M as an ISO image that you just boot on your PC in a VM wherever. You insert it into the forwarding path. I'm usually using static routes to push the traffic through the WAN emulation tool, and you see how the web application performs. And here's the download URL in case you don't find it with Google. And that's it. A few more questions. Would you say some words about HTTP 2? I think it is a bit premature at this point. I will say that they are considering Spdy to be the transport protocol for HTTP 2. That's as much as I know, and thanks for the question. When HTTP 2 becomes a bit more mature, I will definitely do do a presentation on it. A nice remark. Webinar name could be Spdy is not an aspirin. I totally agree with you. Thank you for that one. And by the way, if you get any follow-up questions, you know how to reach me. Send a tweet to @iOSHints. Send me an email to ip@ipspace.net. And if you want to know more about other things and webinars I'm doing, go to ipspace.net. And I hope it will not be too slow, because it is hosted in Central Europe, although I do use some caching. Browse around and tell me what you think. To get more information about my webinars, to register for an online session, or buy a recording or the yearly subscription, please visit my website.